Update!
Hey, update 36. Everything's back to normal. We had an excellent time in Toronto. Thank you for all your suggestions. And since getting back, I've almost completed Act 2 editing and effects. So getting closer all the time, and so far we completed about 25 visual effects shots for the episode. This week I would like to talk about sound effects. A couple updates ago I talked about how sound is so important, and that's very true. And sound effects are a big part of that. Now, there are places when you expect to have sound effects. Like a fight scene without sound effects isn't very impressive. Put the sound effects in and... much cooler. Feels like the hits are there, everything's good. But it also works for like sequences. Sometimes a sequence will totally not work without its sound effects. And now with the effects. But a lot of times sound effects are adding things that you didn't get when you were in the location. As another example from episode 2, Virginia storms off, right? But they're waiting to hear the sound of her door closing.
Okay, we need a plan.
So I had to add the sound of the door closing in post. See?
Okay, we need a plan.
It gives them a reason to restart their conversation. They know they're safe to talk again. I use Soundtrack Pro. It's part of the Final Cut Studio package. They have like a ton of sound effects and some music beds too, which come in handy as well. And you can start to hear those music beds used. It happens with GarageBand too, where you hear these the music beds used in like commercials or in TV shows. Or in the bloopers reel of one of the seasons of Smallville, like there was a music credit at the end for someone who had just taken GarageBand loops and edited them all into one timeline. And I thought that was hysterical. Twisted Thicket had like no location sound, except for a couple dialogue tracks. That was all added in post. And that took a long time. If you've been sound effects editing for like a whole day and you walk outside, it's amazing the layers of sound that you hear in the natural world, and you've got like super hearing all of a sudden. So update 35 was a series of poor decisions and has therefore been erased for forever. Now let's go back to the question that I asked you in update 34. What movie do you like better than the book on which it's based? Now we got a lot of answers on this one, but a few kept rising to the top. Lord of the Rings was mentioned a lot, which I've never read the Lord of the Rings books. I love the movies, so I can't actually weigh in on that. Fight Club was mentioned a lot, which I wholeheartedly agree with. That's got to be one of the top 10 movies of all time, in my opinion, Fight Club. Holes was mentioned a few times. Never read the book, liked the movie a lot. And The Princess Bride came up. And that one I'm going to have to disagree with. Not because I like the book better than the movie, but I've read the book and I've seen the movie, and I love them both. And I think they're equally as good in different ways. But someone had a problem with the foreword that William Goldman wrote for the Princess Bride book, and I thought that was hysterical. I thought that was fantastic. There was no place for it in the movie, but I think it's a great way to start that book. And so the book and the movie are totally different, but both are amazing. William Goldman also wrote Butch Cassidy and the Sundance Kid and a whole bunch of other movies, and he's like one of the best screenwriters ever. So this week's question, it is now Halloween. What Halloween costume did you wear that you were the proudest of in your entire life? What was your favorite Halloween costume that you ever wore? Let me know in the comments. I already showed you guys mine. Last year I went as Spike Spiegel. That was my favorite Halloween costume that I ever put together. So what was your favorite Halloween costume? Let me know in the comments, and I will see you next week.